We're here at the end of day one at Identity Week America 2024 in Washington, DC. I'm joined now by Meier, who's from FaceTec. It's really great to speak to you today. What's the problems in systems today? You know, what are the compromised aspects of those systems that fraudsters can take advantage of?
Well, that's a good question. You know, the industry has spent decades figuring out how to guarantee the integrity of identity-related data and guarantee the integrity of the binding between the identity data and a device like a phone, right? And the industry has done very little to guarantee the integrity of the relationship between the human being that's in control of the phone. And so I like to say, we don't know, if you don't know who's in control of the phone, you can't know who is in control of the credentials that are bound to the phone. And that means you can't know who is in control of the privileges that are represented by the credential. Make sense?
Yeah. And how important is it to really bind that identity to the real human? You know, we'll always talk about identity, but really that term is related to the real person, isn't it?
Well, the statistics are pretty glaring, actually. If you break down cybersecurity breaches and attacks, identity-related crimes, online frauds, I mean, we're talking about trillions of dollars worth of theft or damage or whatever you want to call it, right? But 85% of those incidents, the vector of choice is the transfer of a valid credential to an unauthorized person. So there's a million different kinds of credentials out there, but let's just use a mobile driver's license, for example. A mobile driver's license could be provisioned to a phone, right? But if you don't know who's in control of the phone, you don't know who's in control of the mobile driver's license. That gap right there represents 85% of cybersecurity hacks, breaches, identity-related crimes and frauds. 85%. So it is a function of weak binding between the human being who's in control of the phone and the credential owner. So if we can increase the binding between the credential owner and the credential itself, we make it harder for unauthorized people to use that credential.
And what sort of attacks, you know, fraud attacks would they?
Well, a credential transfer could be done in any number. The attack could be any number of different styles. A phishing attack, right? You get a email that looks like it's from eBay, and you click on the link, and it says, "Oh, we have to change your password." So you enter a new password, and what you're really doing is telling a criminal a new password, your old password, to get into your eBay account, right?
For sure, yeah.
So that's how a phishing attack works. Well, modern attacks can use AI and sophisticated computer software to misrepresent an actual person in a video or on a phone call. So, for example, I could get a piece of software relatively cheaply that would allow me to talk in a video conversation, like a Zoom conversation, only it would be my face on your body, right? Or just my body, only it's you talking. So when the person asks you a question, "Hey, you know, Jay, what do you think of this?" You could answer that question even though you're not me, because what they see on the screen is me. And they call that a deep fake attack, right?
Of course, yeah. And do your clients give you feedback after they've implemented your technologies? Do you hear from the client on its usability, its security?
You know, that's an interesting question. We're the only biometric vendor in the history of biometrics that has stood up our own spoof bounty program. In other words, we invite people to try and break our system, and if they can, we'll pay them up to $600,000 US, okay? And we get to monitor what they do. So if they get through our system, it's like the best R&D money we can spend because we can track what they did and then fix that, right? So we get a lot of feedback about what our technology can and cannot do, and in fact, we haven't paid out a bounty in several years, right? 150,000 distinct attacks. So we know what the attacks are. Our customers and our partners, we get all kinds of feedback from them, but it's not because they've been breached. We never get calls like, hey, your technology sucks and we got breached, right?
Yeah.
What we get calls about is, you know, an upgrade cycle, just standard operating stuff that is just inherent to any software-based business, right? The usability is very easy. The user experience is very clean and efficient. It only takes a second or so to do our technology. And our customers actually believe that our technology is helping them eliminate fraud in their environment. So for example, one of our biggest customers is like the eBay of South America. Okay, it's a company called, well, their name doesn't really matter, but they're a huge company that does exactly what eBay does, right? And they told us that they believe that using our capabilities in every capacity that they could has effectively eliminated fraud on their platform. That's the kind of feedback that we get.
That is good feedback. So where do you go from here? What are your growth plans?
Well, we just put out a product, if you want to call it that. It's really a protocol called the UR code. UR meaning you are, right? It's a QR code that includes your biometric data and some identity data from you, and then it's digitally signed so it can't be altered or changed in any way. So the issuing authority, like the driver's license bureau or the whoever you get your passport from in the UK or wherever, they will issue you this QR code, and it allows you to verify your identity in a remote environment without having to contact the government to do it. So this is a new way of allowing citizens and people and consumers and whoever to verify who they are against an official identity profile, right? Without having to tell the government that they're trying to do something. It's privacy preserving, it's very portable,
Better for the
and it's super cheap. It's effectively free. We're giving the capability away to anybody that wants to use it. Amazing. No,
Amazing.
it doesn't sound like we're going to sell a lot of stuff because of that, but this is going to open up the market for liveness detection, right? Which is what we do. If somebody uses one of these UR codes in a remote environment, you want to know that it's a living person on the other end of the transaction. That's what we do. We hope that they would choose to use our technology, but they could use anybody's technology that they wanted to, right? But we think it's going to expand the market opportunity for this stuff so greatly that plenty of companies can become tremendously successful.
I hope you've enjoyed the conference so far. It's great to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you.